Hey there, and welcome back to Wellness Unfiltered with Dr. Quinnett. I'm Dr. Quinnett Swank, therapist and women's wellness coach, and I am so glad you're here. This is week 4 of the Summer Wellness Reset, and this week I am talking about Pillar 4, which is sleep. And I already know sleep is not as exciting as nutrition or movement or building a wellness routine, but I'm going to be honest with you. Sleep might be the biggest missing piece because you can be doing all the things right. You're eating more protein, you're moving your body, you're drinking more water, you're doing all the things. But if your sleep is consistently off, then everything feels harder. The cravings feel louder, your patience is thinner, your brain feels foggier, and you start thinking, what is wrong with me? But sometimes the answer is not that something is wrong with you. Sometimes your body is exhausted and it's asking for rest. So I really want to talk about sleep today in a way that's realistic, not perfect. I'm not talking about the perfect sleep habit. We're not going to talk about some unrealistic bedtime routine that only works when life is calm and quiet and nobody needs you. No, I want to talk about sleep as being this key foundation to being able to feel like yourself again. Okay, so let's get into it. First, I want to start with this. I want to start with the reason that most women are not sleeping well to begin with. And I think part of this is because as women, if we're being honest and real with ourselves, we treat sleep like it's optional. And here's what I mean by that. We treat sleep like it's the thing that we get to do after everything else is done. So once the dishes are done or the laundry or once we've checked our email for one final time, once everybody is settled, right? After we've scrolled on social media or checked in on social media for the day, after you have gotten that quiet moment for yourself, then you get to sleep. And I get it. Sometimes nighttime is the only time that really feels like yours. It's the only time that no one is asking you for something or no one needs something out of you, right? Sometimes it's like that's the only time when no one expects you to be productive. And so even when you are exhausted, you stay up. Not because you don't care about sleep, but because you finally have some space. You finally have silence. You finally really have like a little bit of control over your time. So I want us to be real about that because it's not that as women, it's not that we're staying up late because we don't care about sleep. No. We're staying up late because the day did not give us enough room to breathe. So bedtime becomes this place where you're trying to get your time back. And I get that. But here is a hard truth that I have had to learn over the years, a hard truth that I share with my clients. And it is this: our bodies are going to pay the price. So even if the reason makes sense as to why we're doing something, we still have to look at, is it serving us? Is it supporting us? So as we go through this episode, I don't want you to think about your sleep from this shame perspective. It's not about trying to shame yourself because you stay up later than you know maybe you should, right? No, I want you to ask yourself this. What is it that I'm really needing at night? Do I need quiet? Do I need alone time? Do I just need to decompress? Because sometimes the sleep problem is not a sleep problem. Sometimes it's more of a life pattern problem. And here's what I mean by that. Sometimes it means we need to set different types of boundaries during the day. And because if we are taking care of everyone else all day, and then we're trying to find ourselves at the end of the day, and the only time is in the evening, then that matters. Because at the end of the day, when we are trying to build these wellness routines that are going to support us long term, then we know that sleep is an area that we're struggling with, we have to understand the why. Otherwise, we're going to keep trying to fix our sleep with rules that don't actually address the real issue. If part of the issue around sleep is that There needs to be a different boundary during the day, but we don't ever really address that, then our sleep is never going to improve. Okay. And another reason why so many women struggle with sleep is because they feel like their brains are never they don't shut off, right? Like you're tired. It's this feeling of like you're tired, but you feel wired. Have you felt that? I'm sure some of you are probably nodding. That's real. Your body is tired, your brain is tired, but your nervous system is still activated because it has been going all day, thinking and planning and managing and taking care of others and holding on to, a mental load. And it's not some of those things we can change and adjust, sure, but sometimes that's just our reality. But we can't expect that our bodies are able just to shut it all down the second our heads hit the pillow. It doesn't work like that. If you have been in go mode all day, then your body needs a transition. It needs cues that it is safe to slow down. It needs to know, your body has to start to know, like, oh, okay, we're not solving any problems right now. Cool, I'm allowed to rest. Because sometimes the problem is not that you can't sleep. So some women that I work with, they're like, I just can't sleep. But it's sometimes that's not what it is. Sometimes what it is, when we really unpack it, it's not that they can't sleep, it's that they never gave their body permission to stop. And that is the real issue. Because sleep is not just rest, okay? Sleep is when repair happens, sleep is regulation, sleep is recovery. Sleep is when our brains and our bodies do the most important work. And that's why sleep is so important and it matters so much. Because when your sleep is consistently off, your whole system feels it. And this is where I really work with women to not blame themselves so quickly as to why they can't sleep. If you are sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night, but it's broken hours, right? It's not a consistent 5 straight hours. And you wake up tired and you wake up foggy or you're craving sugar, you're feeling irritated by everything around you, this isn't a discipline issue, okay? That means that, yes, you slept, but your body didn't recover the way that it needed to recover. So your body is saying, I don't have what I need. And that is a big reason why women tend to be exhausted. But that exhaustion has been normalized for so long. Like we just see it like, oh, this is normal. I'm always tired. And sometimes what feeds that is the praise that we get for being the one who can handle everything and the one who just keeps going and we get it all done and we carry the load, right? And we go through that and we're like, yes, like this is a strength. And we see it as a strength. I saw it as a strength. But eventually we become depleted and we realize, wait a second, I don't want to have this as my personality trait, being exhausted all the time, but being able to push through, right? That's not what we want. So what I want you to do is I want you to really look at sleep as or the lack of sleep or how you're feeling when you're not sleeping well as a sign that your body needs a different type of support. Because when we have support that truly fits us, that's when things start to fall in alignment for the way that we want to live our lives. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see a lot is that as women, we and really I'm saying women, it's really all of us, but my podcast is focused on supporting women, right? We wait until bedtime to think about sleep. But sleep does not start when you get into bed. Your sleep is impacted by how you move through your entire day. So, this is caffeine. This is late night eating. If you are overstimulated, if you have a conflict before you go to bed, all of that can impact your sleep. So, I'm not focused on rules. I don't want you to think about, okay, I have to implement these certain rules around sleep. No, I just want you to notice patterns. I want you to get curious. For instance, for example, if you're drinking coffee late in the afternoon and then you get to the evening and you're like, I can't fall asleep, then that's worth paying attention to, right? If your evenings are like packed full of doing different types of chores or checking emails or cleaning up until the second you get into bed, then that's worth paying attention to. And if you are scrolling at night in bed, but then you feel more wired or anxious, we're not looking at it through a judgment lens, but we do need to ask ourselves, okay, wait a second, could this be impacting me? Again, we're not none of this is about looking at it from a place of shame. We just want to look at it through a lens of curiosity. And something else that I really want to talk about that comes up is when I talk about sleep is TV, because so many women, myself included, we use TV as a time to relax at night, right? We all have our shows that we watch, and it's just that perfect little like wind down time. And honestly, that was me for years. It was like the perfect way for me to kind of wind down the evening. I just got to zone out and just let the day go. But here's the problem. When we use the TV to relax us, quote, relax us, right? Our brains and our bodies are not actually recognizing that as relaxation. And again, that was another hard truth that I had to learn and another hard truth that I'm putting out there to you. You might fall asleep to the TV, but the chances are that when you fall asleep, you're not truly getting good sleep. The light, the stimulation from the sounds, the noises, all of that keeps your nervous system more activated than we realize. So instead, a few things that I want to offer you, just especially around when we engage in activities that are considered to be overstimulating, watching TV, scrolling, a couple of things to try are this. One is reading. And I don't mean a heavy book. I don't mean a book that's going to require a lot of mental energy, just something fun and easy and something that truly allows your brain to relax within the first few pages. Journaling is also a great way to really wind down because it allows you to release the day. And for some women, journaling has been very helpful, especially if there's prompts that can kind of guide you. And sometimes you don't need the prompt. Sometimes it's just about releasing and getting your thoughts out onto paper so that your brain is not holding on to everything while you're trying to fall asleep. My ultimate personal favorite is a meditation app, and this has worked wonders for so many of my clients, also myself, in terms of being able to wind down at night. And there are several good apps that offer like sleep sound frequencies or sleep meditations. And it just gives your brain this gentle way to kind of offload from the day. And so instead of going, because a lot of us struggle from going from, doing something and being, stimulated to then straight silence. And to be fair, our bodies don't work like that. Our bodies need a transition. And so giving it some sort of a bridge, whether it's reading or journaling or using a meditation app, and those are nice because they have timers, it really helps you go from this activation mode into this relaxation mode. And I have seen so much success with clients who really came to me and said, "No, I've never been able to sleep. I've just been like this for years." And we implement one of these strategies, and they come back to me. I kid you not, a week later, and they're like, "Wow, I actually slept." And then we're able to talk about, okay, how did you feel the next day? What did that look like for you? And that is what allows you to kind of keep coming back. You recognize, wait, I did something and I was able to see this improvement and this is how it showed up in my life. Okay, I'm going to try that again. And I don't work with clients whose lives are perfect, right? No, first of all, no one's life is perfect. No, I work with clients who have real life stuff happening. They're busy from the moment they wake up until really throughout their entire day. And so when we look at, well, how do we implement a strategy that's going to work for them? We look at these things. Some people they're not readers. Some people they don't like to journal. The app worked, right? So it's about finding something that is going to work for you. So here's your sleep reset for the week. One thing, not a full overhaul, I don't want you to look at creating a perfect bedtime routine. One anchor. Maybe it is this. Maybe it's saying, you know what? I think I drink coffee too late in the day. I'm going to try to stop it earlier. Maybe it's trying the meditation app instead of TV. Maybe instead of scrolling, you choose something else. Okay. Just pick one thing. Just choose one and then notice how your body responds. And I think especially for summer, it's really hard to be consistent in the summer because our nights may not look the same. You may have later nights. You're traveling, you're going out, that's life, right? And so that is why we create the anchors. That's why we try to find, okay, what's the thing that's going to anchor me? But here's what I want you to remember. I don't want you to think that it's an all or nothing. Really look at what is going to work for me. And that's your anchor and you just keep coming back to that and you be consistent with how you're showing up because the more consistent you are, then the more your body will start to recognize, oh, this is what we do. And when we can be consistent and we can really allow ourselves and start to create that trust, then on the other side of it, you see the improvement through all areas of your life. Remember, it's not just about sleep being connected to how productive we can be the next day. No, it's truly about create trust. It is about telling your body you do not have to earn rest. You do not have to be completely depleted before you are listening to your body. You don't have to break down before you give your body the support it needs. So, really think about this week. What would it look like to respond to your body before it forces you to respond? Thank you so much for spending time with me today. And if you enjoyed today's episode, and I hope you did, then please be sure to share this episode with a woman in your life that you feel needs to hear this, because that is how we continue to grow this community together. And if you're not already following the show, please follow it and leave a review so that more women can find the podcast. And I would love to connect with you. You can follow me on Instagram at Swank Wellness. Send me a message. Let me know what landed for you today. And before we go, just remember all the information that is shared in this podcast is for educational purposes only. Take what fits your life and leave what doesn't. But remember this, your body isn't working against you, it's communicating with you. So continue to be curious and keep showing up for yourself. I'll see you in the next episode of Wellness Unfiltered with Dr. Quinnett. Take care.